Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. The derelict starship Abyss Warden hovered silently in the void, its hull scarred by countless asteroid collisions and laser blasts. 10 Huntresses, each more lethal than the next, circled the vessel like predators sensing weakness. They weren't here for salvage or treasure, they were here for him. The last human capable of turning the tide of the galactic war. On the edge of the star system VEYRA9, the Huntresses communicated only through their neural implants, voices echoing inside their minds. Talara, the leader, clenched her claws against the ship's magnetic hull. "Remember," she whispered, "the human sleeps. None may wake him. His power is not for recklessness." But her words were drowned in ambition. The others ignored caution. Rax, the fastest among them, vaulted to the ship's outer antenna, sending a pulse that destabilized the hull's integrity. Sparks rained around her as the metallic shell groaned. Inside the ship, in the main chamber, a soft hum vibrated from the core. The sleeping figure was vast, human, yet more. He was ancient, though his skin bore no scars, his muscles dormant beneath pale human skin. Legends called him the last Titan. He had survived wars that shattered entire systems, yet now, he lay in the cryo coffin like an innocent child. The ship's AI, a delicate network of crystal filaments called Nira, pulsed in warning. Huntresses detected. Shields weakening. Probability of hull breach 74%. A faint voice cut through the tension, trembling yet firm. "Don't wake him. Your bones are too brittle." Every huntress froze. At the far end of the chamber, a small figure emerged from the shadows. She looked barely older than 16, her hair silver under the artificial light, her eyes unnervingly calm. Her uniform was torn and patched, a mismatch of scavenged armor pieces. Talara's clawed hand twitched, almost striking her. "Who dares speak?" "I do," the girl replied. "I've survived more than you know, and I've seen what happens when the last Titan awakens. You will shatter." The Huntresses exchanged nervous glances. Whispers traveled through the neural links. "Shatter? The human? Impossible. He is asleep, defenseless." The girl stepped closer. "Not defenseless. He carries the weight of civilizations in his arms. And your bones, they are too fragile to stand against him." Rax snarled. "You dare lecture us, child? We are the Huntresses. Do you know who we are?" The girl's lips curved into a small smile, and her voice dropped. "Yes, and I also know who he is. Wake him, and none of you will leave this chamber whole." "Not one." Talara's eyes narrowed, scanning the girl's frame. Something about her seemed different. Not alien, not human exactly, but something far older than any of them. She tilted her head, assessing the risk. "You speak boldly for one so small," Talara hissed. "How can you be certain of your words?" The girl took a slow step forward. "Because I've seen it. Once, I watched him rise when the system of Arcalis fell. The Huntresses who thought themselves invincible. They became dust in moments. He doesn't fight like you. He doesn't fight at all, he commands. One thought from him, and your bones would crumble as easily as ash." For a long moment, silence reigned in the chamber. Even the hum of the AI seemed muted in anticipation. Talara felt an unfamiliar unease, a chill creeping up her spine. Finally, she spoke, her voice a low growl. "Explain yourself, child. Why are you here, and why do you know of him?" The girl's gaze swept over the 10 Huntresses, calm, unwavering. "I am the last witness of the Titan Wars. I have followed him from system to system, hiding when the universe tried to erase him. I know his power, and I know what happens when arrogance wakes the sleeping." Rax snorted. "A child, and you expect us to obey?" The girl's eyes flared with an icy light. "Not obey. Survive. I am warning you. Each of you is made for hunting, not surviving the storm he brings. Don't underestimate him." A sudden tremor shook the ship. Dust rained from the ceiling as the hull creaked under pressure. Nira's voice warned in urgent tones, "Hull integrity critical. External assault imminent." Talara snapped out of her hesitation. "Enough. Stand your ground. If he wakes, it will be because of us. And if he doesn't." She paused, glancing at the girl. "Then perhaps your words hold weight. But we will not be cowed by shadows." The girl tilted her head. "Shadows? No. I am the last light between you and ruin. Step back, or all your efforts will vanish into nothing." The Huntresses tightened their grip on their weapons, each a relic of slaughtered planets and conquered civilizations. But doubt had entered their minds. One by one, Rax, Vela, and the others hesitated, hesitant claws hovering over triggers, tentacles curling nervously. Talara growled in frustration. She was the strongest, the most cunning, and yet, this child had invaded her mind with doubt. Fine, move cautiously, but do not let fear guide your hand. The ship is ours, and the human remains asleep. They began advancing toward the cryo coffin, each step precise, almost ritualistic. The girl walked beside them, her voice a constant whisper, weaving warnings and stories of battles long past. She spoke of worlds torn to dust, of huntresses who underestimated him, and of the silence that followed, the silence of annihilation. The chamber grew TNSE, sparks flew from damaged conduits, and the artificial lights flickered. Nira's core flickered, processing the conflicting commands and growing external threats. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the chamber. One of the huntresses misstepped, striking a pressure panel that released a jet of molten plasma. Shrieks filled the air as several huntresses leapt back, their armor sizzling. Talara hissed, shaking her claws. "Careless fools. Keep your senses sharp." The girl, calm as ever, extended a hand. "Do you see now? This is only the beginning. The moment he wakes, everything changes. Even your speed, your strength, your bones, irrelevant." And then, a pulse of energy surged from the cryo coffin. Not loud, not violent, but enough for a subtle shiver to travel down the spines of every huntress. The last titan stirred, his massive eyelids cracking open. The girl stepped forward. "I warned you." Talara froze, instinct screaming at her to strike, but her claws wavered. Every neural link between the huntresses shivered in unison. The human's eyes, dark as a collapsing star, opened fully. They pierced through the chamber, and though no motion had yet come from him, the air itself seemed to constrict. One by one, the huntresses faltered. Talara realized, too late, that this was no ordinary fight. Bones were brittle, muscles could tear, flesh could be shredded without a single strike. The room seemed alive with the hum of his awakening presence, commanding respect, fear, and death, all at once. The girl's words echoed, cold and certain, "Your bones are too brittle." And in that moment, the huntresses understood. Not one of them would leave this chamber unbroken. The Abyss Warden's lights dimmed, the stars outside spinning faster as if the universe itself acknowledged the awakening. Chapter 2, The Last Titan Stirs, Bones Shatter, Legends Rise. The chamber trembled under the silent authority of the awakened titan. The 10 huntresses froze in place, their claws and weapons trembling, hearts pounding in unison. Even Talara, the fearless leader, felt the weight of inevitability pressing down on her. The girl with silver hair, calm and unshaken, stepped forward. "Step back," she whispered. "Do not challenge him. Survival is in restraint, not in arrogance." The titan's eyes, black as void and deep as collapsing stars, scanned the room. He did not move yet, but his presence carried a gravitational pull, bending air and tension alike. Even the AI, Nira, faltered, its voice quiet and hesitant. External threat evaluation, inconclusive. Threat level, absolute. Talara snapped a command through her neural link, hoping to regain some semblance of control. Huntresses, form a circle. If we fight as one. Strike together. But the cohesion was ALRED breaking. Each huntress instinctively flinched under the titan's gaze, their instincts screaming that no combination of claws, blades, or firepower could match him. Rax growled, launching herself forward with the speed of a comet, aiming at the titan's midsection. But the air itself seemed to slow her motion, thickening around her as if resisting. She skidded to a halt mere meters from him, her claws scraping uselessly against invisible resistance. "Your speed is irrelevant," the girl murmured, her voice steady as ever. "Even your strength is irrelevant. He moves not with muscle, but with command. Every atom in this room answers him." Talara's breath hitched. She realized the truth too late. The last titan's awakening was not about violence, it was about inevitability. One subtle gesture from him could shatter bone and metal alike. A faint pulse radiated from the titan's chest, low and rhythmic, like the heartbeat of a collapsing sun. Sparks danced along the walls. The huntresses' weapons wavered in their hands, their neural implants screaming in fear. The girl stepped between Talara and the titan, arms raised. "If you wish to survive, you must yield." Talara hesitated, fury and fear colliding. She had led countless hunts, toppled worlds, crushed rivals. But now, she felt the crushing weight of history bearing down on her. Yield, to a human, impossible. But then, the Titan shifted ever so slightly. A soft exhale, a whisper of power that seemed to touch every bone in the room. Talara felt it immediately, her claws, her skeleton, even her reinforced armor, strained to the point of cracking. She dropped to one knee. The others followed, some hesitantly, others panicked. The room was filled with the sound of metal groaning, tendons stretching, and the breathless realization that they had no chance. The Titan finally moved, not violently, not in attack, but he extended a massive hand toward the girl. She did not flinch. She touched his forearm lightly, and the air itself seemed to settle, as if a storm had calmed. "Why?" Talara whispered, voice trembling. "Why spare us?" The Titan's voice rumbled like distant thunder, though his lips barely moved. "Because destruction is only necessary when life refuses wisdom. You were warned." The girl looked at the Huntresses. "You see now, survival does not demand victory. It demands humility. Learn this lesson, or history will erase you." Talara slowly bowed her head, a gesture of respect and awe. The others followed, each broken in more than just body. They were broken in pride, in perception. The Titan turned his gaze outward, toward the void of space, then back at the girl. A faint smile touched his features. "You have grown strong, and yet, you understand restraint. Good. Perhaps the galaxy may yet survive another cycle." The girl nodded. "And the Huntresses?" He extended his hand toward the nearest group of them. A gentle pulse of energy flowed, not enough to kill, but enough to heal minor fractures and ease their muscles. Bones that threatened to snap straightened. Tendons and ligaments regained their integrity. Talara looked at the Titan with disbelief. You can heal." He inclined his head slightly. "I do not merely destroy. I preserve. For without preservation, even victory is meaningless." The Huntresses, humbled beyond measure, finally grasped the truth. Their obsession with power, their desire to dominate, had been meaningless against one being who commanded not just strength, but reality itself. The girl's eyes softened as she turned to Talara. "You will leave this place with a new understanding. Your hunt will continue, but not against him. Never again." Talara swallowed hard, and the Titan stepped aside, allowing the Huntresses to approach. The Abyss Warden hummed once more, its hull stabilizing. Nira's voice, once strained, now sang clearly, ship systems fully operational. External threats neutralized. The Huntresses, guided by the girl, carefully navigated back to their own vessels. Talara lingered, glancing once more at the Titan. "I do not understand fully, but I will not forget." The Titan's eyes softened, as much as eyes that had witnessed eons could soften. "You need not understand. You need only remember." With that, the last Titan resumed his slumber, his form curling back into the cryo coffin. The girl placed a hand on the lid, whispering something none of the Huntresses could hear. The chamber lights dimmed, leaving only the soft hum of the Abyss Warden and the weight of history. As the Huntresses departed, their ships cutting streaks through the void, the girl watched silently. Then she turned to the Titan, bowing slightly. "Another century awaits," she murmured. And in the silence of the void, legend slept once more, but the universe had been reminded of the fragility of even the fiercest hunters. One human, tempered by time, commanded respect not with weapons, but with the sheer inevitability of his existence. The stars shimmered outside the viewport, distant and indifferent, as the Abyss Warden drifted silently among them, holding the last Titan and the secrets of the universe within its battered hull. The end.